back to my channel. I'm Jacqueline, master stylist and salon manager. And today I'm here to talk with you a little bit about something I use on a daily basis to decide cuts, where bangs are going to sit, if bangs are even going to be a possibility, whether to add shorter layers, longer layers, all of the above. And that is face shapes. So we all have our own face shape, and there's different things that complement our certain features of our face. And I am going to start a series talking about all the different face shapes and all the do's and don'ts for each face shape. So this is part 1, and let's get into it. So while you're watching these videos, if you're trying to figure out what face shape you are, I will give you a couple little tips and tricks on how to figure it out as you're listening to these different components of the different face shapes, and what you can do to yourself to figure out what your face shape is. So I actually want you guys to guess what my face shape is after you listen to all of the videos if you want. But basically what you do is you take all of your hair. If you have a headband, that's great, but you take all of your hair and you bring it back because you want to see the hairline. The hairline is super important, and you want to be able to see the whole face. So do this in the mirror and take a look at your face and all the different characteristics and listen to what I have to say, and then maybe you can figure out what face shape you are. So the first face shape that we're going to talk about today is the rectangle and oblong face shape. So the main characteristic of this face shape is length in the face. So your length is longer than your width, and the sides of your face are quite flat. Those are the two main characteristics. But the difference between an oblong and rectangle is that an oblong's the jawline is quite rounded, and so is the chin. So you just have like a long and narrow face with rounded jaw and a rounded chin. If you have a rectangle face shape, you have a long and narrow face shape, but you have a more squared off jaw and a very flat chin. So some do's for a oblong or rectangle face shape is that you want to add more volume on the sides. So if you can imagine a rectangle and you are trying to make it more proportionate, you want to add more roundness to the sides rather than the width of it. So what you can do is have a little bit shorter layers throughout your hair to add more dimension and add more volume. Another great tip for people with the rectangle and oblong face shape is to have some type of bang. A lot of times when people with this face shape, they have quite large foreheads, or they usually have quite large foreheads. So one thing to make the face shape look a little bit more proportionate is adding a little bit of a bang to it, whether it's a front bang, whether it's a curtain bang, whether it's a side swept bang, anything of that sort will definitely help frame your face and make things look a little bit more proportionate. If you're trying to decide what kind of haircut to get with a rectangle or oblong face shape, I would 100% recommend nothing longer than your collarbone. If you want to go longer than your collarbone, there are definitely some other things that you can include, and I'll get to that in a second. But if the most ideal haircut is definitely higher than the collarbone, this is gonna take with layers, 100%. Always have layers, and this will add volume and everything. When you have long hair, it can often make your face shape look a lot longer. So with someone who has a long and narrow face, long hair isn't going to really do too much for you. So if you want to have long hair, make sure that you have lots of layers, because like I said, layers is going to add volume, and you won't have it so sleek to your face, and it will make things again look a little bit more proportionate. And you are styling with your hair, curls with an oblong and rectangle face shape are always the best way to go. It's just natural volume, and it's natural symmetry. If you want to go with your hair straight, go right from the root and add volume from your root to create that volume that way with still having a nice sleek hair. Definitely some don'ts for an oblong or rectangle face shape is middle parts. You do not want to have middle part, especially if your hair is straight. You do not want to have a middle part. What a middle part does is it is an extension of your face. So if you could, it's just gonna make your face look so much longer than it already is, and it will do nothing for you. Another big don't for someone with an oblong face shape is no bangs. And I'm not saying you have to run to the hairdresser and get your hair chopped right off at your front. Not that at all. I'm just saying make sure your hair has a little bit of face framing layers in the front to just kind of take some of that face away so that it's not so face, right? Because it's such a long, if you have such a long face and you add a little bit of face framing, it's going to take some of that away. Another thing you want to avoid when you have an oblong or rectangle face shape is to have blunt cuts. Like I said before, with blunt cuts, there's so much weight that holds down here, and it makes your hair flat, and then you have all like this huge weight line here, which just does not do anything for you for a rectangle or oblong face shape. If you want to do a blunt cut, you can have the blunt look, but add some texture throughout, some invisible layers, just to kind of give it some zhuzh. Well, that concludes my rectangle and oblong information session. I hope that these tips and tricks were helpful for you, and I hope that you can use them. If you have any more questions at all, either message me on any of my social media platforms, or you can comment in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in today, guys, and hope to see you at the next one. Bye!